So Kraven the Hunter is the latest abomination in Sony's Spider-Man-less Spider-Man universe. And basically the plot of this movie is... What was the plot of this movie? Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. I know I'm getting this review up a little bit later, so admittedly, the plot of this movie has escaped from my head a little bit. I would have gotten this review up for you guys yesterday, but, I mean, Interstellar is still being re-released in IMAX, and, well, I'm not gonna not go see that. I mean, come on. It's Interstellar. But naturally, that means another day has gone by in which the movie has just progressively been forgotten by my mind, and so, yeah. I guess summing this movie up for you guys is going to be a little more tricky than I thought, so please bear with me, but you've been warned. Essentially, from what I remember, the plot of this movie is Kraven is this great hunter with lion powers. His brother is abducted by this criminal gang that's been doing some business with his father, played by Russell Crowe, and the business has gone wrong, so they took the brother as, I don't know, insurance or something. So now Kraven teams up with some chick that sort of saved him as a child, and yeah, now he's trying to get his brother back. I think that's the plot here. Okay, it's no secret whatsoever. Sony's Spider-Verse that they're kind of doing for themselves right now, it hasn't been good. The only movies of theirs that have seen any form of success have been the Venom movies, considering the fact they got 3 of those going, but everything else has just been awful. And given the fact that Kraven the Hunter kept getting delayed and kept getting reshot, I mean, this movie was supposed to come out in the summer. It's Christmas season now. That right there should just scream to you when a movie is constantly being delayed again and again and again. Probably means something's going horribly wrong. The studio does not believe in the project. And now here we are, and you know, after the first 8 minutes of the film was shown online, people were like, oh, this might be really good. It's finally rated R, so that's nice. Been dying for a rated R Marvel movie for a while. Kind of missed their window with Venom, but here we are, better late than never, I guess. And yeah, how is it? After hearing it was going to be rated R, and it was going to be bloody violence, and Aaron Taylor Johnson was apparently meant for this role, and they were so happy with their reshooting, they believed this was going to save their franchise. Sadly enough, I'm here to report this may, in fact, be the worst one in the franchise. Seriously. First of all, Aaron Taylor Johnson, I mean, he's here, you know? That's really it. And we've seen Aaron Taylor Johnson be in superhero movies, be in action movies. We know he can be a good enough action movie star, be in a good enough comic book movie or something like that. But no, he's kind of here, you know, he shows up, he kicks some ass whenever he needs to, he speaks in his Russian dialect when he needs to, but he doesn't really do much that's memorable. He doesn't look like he's having fun with this character, it doesn't look like he's trying to make it his own. It just felt like a very bland, ordinary performance. And hell, part of me doesn't even want to talk about the rest of the cast because they're equally forgettable. Russell Crowe, what the fuck is happening with this guy, man? He went from literally being Gladiator in 2000, winning a fucking Oscar, and now lately it feels like he's in nothing but crap. Like, part of me really did he just win the Oscar and decide, okay, that's it, I'm done, but I still need, you know, I still need a job, I still need my check, so I'll just pick these shitty projects. Really starting to think that's what happens here because, again, he tries to play this Russian authoritarian father, and I don't know, did I care about his character? Did I care about that dynamic he has with his sons? Not at all. And hell, the dynamic between Kraven and his brother, who I believe they were trying to set up to be Chameleon, I didn't buy into that either. Like, you felt like the movie does this whole thing where it does a flashback where you see what their childhood was like and the pressure their father put on the two of them and how he kind of favored Kraven a little bit more, but the brothers had a strong unity together. I don't know, as they got older, I kind of felt like that disappeared entirely, and how there's one point in the movie where, despite Kraven going after his brother trying to save him, it feels like the relationship's just broken and dead at that point. It's kind of out of nowhere too. It's like, alright, you're my brother, you mean more to me than ever. But now, fuck you, we're gonna be enemies now. It's like, I don't know, I feel like there was somewhere in the story where that could have been built on a little bit more before we just decide that, but I know, that's been the wave of 2024, you know, people who saw themselves as best friends or family turn on each other by the end, so I guess Kraven just wanted to keep that going. Also, yeah, the movie is just so jumbled all over the place with storytelling. I mean, it starts right out the gate. Kraven has this big prison escape of sorts, which looks like shit, by the way. Oh my god. The fucking CGI in this movie, people. I'm not even gonna say it's laughably bad, but it's absolute shit. Nothing in this movie looks real. The animals are completely CGI'd out of the worst visual effects I have seen in forever. The action scenes, it doesn't even remotely look real. It doesn't even remotely look like something I could buy into. It fucking sucks. It takes me out of the action scene, and it's not even enjoyable in the it's so bad I can laugh at it kind of sense. It's pathetic looking. So anyway, we get a flashback scene where they're hunting and Kraven gets attacked by, again, a horrific CGI lion that, apparently infects him with lion powers. It kills him, but he gets brought back to life by a magic potion by some bitch. And so, with that, now he's this super hunter of sorts. It just doesn't really make sense. And to my knowledge, you're free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think Kraven, the actual comic book character, is supposed to even have powers. He's just supposed to be this remarkably skilled hunter of sorts. So that way I imagine in the comics, when he takes people out or when he's hunting people or doing whatever and he's doing what he's doing, it's more badass because he's not this all-powerful being. In this case, when he's fighting people and he's taking them out and he's doing what he's doing, I mean, it's kind of a no-shit scenario because he has lion powers. Why wouldn't he be able to beat these guys? And yeah, how's the action in this movie that was hyped up? It's like you're finally going to get it rated R. It's going to be bloody. It's going to be gore. There are going to be some epic kill shots here. I mean, I don't know. Did you see any for the other two of you who saw this movie? Because I didn't. I mean, there's more blood in this movie, sure, than there's been in the other Sony Spider-less movies, but I mean, is it enough for it to feel like a hard R, like a well-deserved R rating? Not particularly. Like, honestly, there's not one action scene that I fully remember through and through. I remember bits and pieces, I guess, from the prison break at the beginning of the movie, but that's it. Going back to other characters in this movie that don't even matter, I mean, Ariana DeBose, is it DeBose? I don't know. I don't care much because she doesn't do much in this movie. She's very stoic. She doesn't act like she cared to be in this movie, act like she believed in the project. Granted, nor did anybody. But you almost feel like the movie's trying to an extent to set up some kind of like, love thing between her and Kraven. But did I buy into it? No. Did I buy into like the little partnership they build to work together? No. I can't really see what either really did for the other. And hell, the villain aspect in this movie, like Rhino's in this movie. Sure, you'd think that'd be cool. We're going to finally get Rhino. We're going to get the real Rhino, not the Transformer version with Paul Giamatti that we got at the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. But here's the problem, though. At least Rhino from The Amazing Spider-Man 2, we remember him. It's not for the right reasons, but we always remember him. I don't remember anything about this Rhino. Apparently, like, he has to carry this, like, this sack of fluid to keep him from being the Rhino all the time, to make him look human, but yeah, when he transforms into Rhino, he looks like a CGI dumpster fire, and yeah, there's one action scene with him as the Rhino, and it's meh. Even meh is a bit of a strong word. It's forgettable. It doesn't matter. And yeah, we'll talk about this for sure. The writing in this movie just stinks. I mean, it's bland dialogue. It's the kind of stuff that you roll your eyes in the back of your head because it's nothing nobody would say in real life. Even the editing too. I'm not just talking about with the shitty CGI, but even when it came to like the dialogue between a couple characters, I really question just how they handled that. Because I shit you not, there were moments, countless times in this movie where, a scene or a moment or dialogue would be going on between two different characters, and the movie would actually, or the camera rather, would focus entirely on one person talking and then focus entirely on the other person talking. And because the way the dialogue was going, how bland and how stoic and how just emotionless and no passion there was whatsoever in the script or in the dialogue, it really had me wondering, it's like, did the movie just film this scene with the actors separately? I would totally believe that if it was true, because there are moments like a person is supposed to be talking to another person and the scene is set up to make it look like they are there together talking about whatever the situation is. But because of how bland and just the lack of effort that is being spewed by the actor, it really had me looking at like, this person is just talking to a wall right now. And then someone's like, all right, we'll edit it together to make it look like it was two people talking to each other. It was either that or the actors just read the script and they're just like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit. And hell, the movie even did the stupid thing that Madam Web did, where there were times like actors' voices didn't match up to their lips. Like someone says something, but their mouth wasn't even moving at all. What's going on with that? Maybe now I'm just starting to wonder, it's like there's something bad happening and a character responds to it, but the studio or the movie just thinks there needs to be words here, so let's just, quickly put them in and hope the audience doesn't notice. We're always gonna notice. Sometimes saying less is more. Sometimes all you need is the expression of a face to know that a situation is bad. We all saw The Lion King. when Simba saw the wildebeest coming at him, he didn't need to say anything. It was all on his face. So all in all, because I just don't want to talk about this anymore, yeah, Kraven the Hunter, it fucking blows. No one gives a remotely good performance, or remotely acceptable performance in this movie. You could tell nobody believed in this project. No one believed in this script. The writing's awful. The action is completely forgettable. The CGI is atrocious. Story jumps all over the place, so I could never really even truly understand what the movie was even about. Violence, they tried to hype it up as big as they could, but none of it felt fulfilling, even with the R rating. Frankly, guys, the only positives that come out of Kraven the Hunter is because of how awful it's fucking doing at the box office right now. Thankfully, this means Sony's little spin-off Spider-Man universe is dead now. Like, we're not gonna get any more of these spin-offs with these, you know, villains or these anti-heroes. Like, now they're like, all right, we quit, we tried, we failed. Pour all assets into the Tom Holland Spider-Man verse, or whatever they're gonna do. Because frankly, as far as live-action Spider-Man movies go, that's all they have going for themselves now. The big question is also now going to be, where does it rank among the Sony Spider-Man list movies? You know, honestly, this might be the worst one. And let me explain why. Because I saw something in a comment section on a YouTube video that was also ranting about this movie. And frankly, I don't know who this person was, but they summed it up perfectly. Morbius was so bad, it was memeable. Madam Web was such a shit show, it was funny. And then Kraven the Hunter is just terrible. And that's it. At least those other two movies had something going for it. Simply in the sense, I'm like, it's such a piece of shit and it's so awful that we can at least find entertainment in making fun of these movies and just shredding them apart and making them infamous, as Jonah Jameson would say. Kraven the Hunter, no one's ever gonna talk about this movie, no one's gonna meme this movie, no one's gonna shit on this movie, no one's gonna make fun of this movie. It's just nothing. It's going to disappear into that void of comic book movies that no one ever cared to see or think about or even make fun of. It's an absolute disaster, and so is this franchise. And yeah, for as much as we love to give MCU shit for their blunders, they clearly know what they're doing when it comes to the Spider-Man movies. So that's the one thing you give Sony. At least they were smart enough to be like, let's work out a deal with these guys, because clearly we have no idea what the fuck to do. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to make comments, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.